Hello and welcome to Learning ASL with Miss Tess. That's me. These videos will air on Tuesdays at 1 o'clock on our Aurora Public Library Facebook page. And what I do is teach a few signs that go along with my ASL story time, which will take place Wednesdays at 10 o'clock. So you learn the signs the day before, and then you can watch the ASL story time and sign along. Now these story times are also in English, so don't feel like you won't be able to understand any of it. And they're a lot of fun. Now, this little video, I want to talk about why learning signs is so beneficial, especially for young children. Now, I'm not going to be teaching the entire language. American Sign Language is its own fully fledged language, just like English or any other spoken language. It has its own structure, its own grammar, and it took me 6+ years to learn it. So that's not my goal with these little videos. My goal is to expose you and children to different signs that you can use on a daily basis, because when children, especially nonverbal, preverbal children, learn how to sign, they are able to communicate before they can speak. And that has been, I mean, for me and my child, it was awesome. It was wonderful. For her to be able to express her wants and her needs before she was able to speak out loud was extremely helpful. And it's a bonding experience between parents and children to sign together, for the parents to teach the child how to sign. And it's not, again, it's not full sentences or anything, but they are able to express what they want with just 1 or 2 signs. I saw it in my own child's life. And there's also a lot of research to back that up. I have a degree in deaf studies, and I have done a lot of baby sign research because we started a baby sign class here at the Talons Reach Library. They are learning the sign, but they're learning a word in 3 different ways. You have the auditory, when you speak the word out loud to your child, they are hearing it. You have the visual, when you are signing and trying to teach your child the sign, they are seeing it. And then when they start to practice it, that is the kinesthetic. So they use movement to produce the word. And so they're getting a vocabulary word in 3 different ways at the same time. They're hearing it, they're seeing it, and they're doing it. And that is working the language development muscle in the brain 3 times more. I mean, you do it the auditory way usually. You speak the words, and that's excellent. But if you add in 2 more ways of learning a word, how much more are they getting? How much more opportunity to learn and have that vocabulary word stick in the brain than just 1? And so, as you all know, 0 to 5 is the prime time for brain development, and that's when we do all the reading and the talking and the singing and the playing, and that sets them up for success. That's why we encourage it here at the library, to do these things with your child, because it sets them up for success in their education and in their life. And so when you add in the sign, you're just adding an extra component to that and firming the foundation even more for them. And my own child, this is my own experience, she started speaking around 12 months slowly, but we kept signing with her until she was about 2. And so she had about 30 signs in her data bank, and people would often comment how impressed they were with how well she could speak at a young age and how advanced her vocabulary was at such a young age. And I honestly do not put that down to our genes. That is not us giving that to her. That was her learning signs. I'm sure of it. And I've seen other testimonies of similar stories with their children. So it's not a guarantee that they're going to get straight A's in school or anything like that. But again, it does set them up early in life for that language development success, language success, reading, writing, speaking, all of it. It all goes into that. So that's the major benefit of these classes, and I hope that you don't have to take away, like, oh, I only have to learn what their wants and needs, like signs for that. No, like teach them animal signs, teach them funny signs, like it doesn't matter. All of it goes into their education and their success. Of course, the day-to-day signs are more beneficial to your communication, but everything works. The second benefit for this class is being able to communicate with deaf or hard of hearing people if you were to ever run into someone like that. And you very well may. I mean, there's like 8 million in the world or something like that. I don't know the exact statistic, don't quote me. But there are a lot of deaf and hard of hearing people in the world that use sign language. And they're fine, like they don't need help, they have their own language, they have their own culture, they don't consider themselves disabled. But imagine being deaf and having the challenges of the day-to-day life where you're running into people that don't know your language and can't communicate with you. So if you are able to have a few signs in your memory and you are able to communicate with them, even on a very, very basic level, that is a gift, and I think a kindness. That's just my personal opinion, but it's something that it's a privilege to be able to hear, and so we don't think about that very often. We take hearing for granted, and we want to be able to be compassionate, be kind to everyone, and having that gift to be able to give someone who can't hear, I think is a kindness. So that's one of my benefits for this class, and and you never know, like I saw sign language when I was in my early teens, and I saw it being, it was an interpreted performance at a theater, and I was blown away. I thought it was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen, and so I went and I studied it for myself. And you never know what your child might do with it when they start learning how to do it. I learned my ABCs when I was a lot younger than that, so it's always been with me, I think, as a passion. But again, you never know. Expose your children to all sorts of things, and you never know what they're going to take and what their passions are going to be. So that is the reason for these videos, and just because it's fun and I want to share this different language with you. Exposure to other languages, that's another benefit. Just exposure to other languages in general is good. It's a good thing. So you can come here and access the signs anytime you'd like, but also you can tune in Tuesdays at 1 o'clock so that you can learn the signs that will be used in the story time the next day, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. So thank you for tuning in, and please, if you have any requests, if you have any suggestions for appropriate signs that you would like to learn, I am happy to include those in my videos. So just put them in the comments or shoot the library an email, and they will pass it on to me. All right? Thanks.